Welcome to Off the Rails with, I guess it's just Ummel now. Bubba was supposed to be here at 10:20. Nowhere to be found. So it's just me for right now. I never run late. I'm never late. I don't know where he is, but I did hear a lot of commotion in the back of the BRN. It sounded like there was a moped going, maybe some weed whacking. I'm not sure, but I feel like maybe I should just call Bubba and see where he's at. Maybe he forgot he had a show to do. But sorry, you're just gonna have to kind of work with me here on this. But I'm gonna call Bubba. I'll pamper. All right. See where this motherfucker's at. How convenient.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
I can't even leave a message? I can't even leave a message. How disgraceful. 813-90 Bubba if you'd like to join in the conversation, because apparently it's just me. I'm never late. This motherfucker. You're out of breath. You're winded.
Well, that's just
10:20 sharp. I'll never be late. I'm never late. Oh, this is weird. Now I feel uncomfortable. You are sweatier than Lummy right now.
I don't have any headphones, but I guess I don't.
You want
need...
your headphones?
I don't.
I use my own here.
I don't need any because I can just hear you.
Okay, that works. What was going on back there? I heard a lot of commotion.
I started the generator.
Okay.
And then I was able to get one of the two mopeds started.
Okay.
And I was working on. The reason I'm out of breath is because I was kicking the hell out of the black moped, and I can't get it. It seemed to be the blue one I got running really good, really well.
Yeah.
And then I'm hot.
You seem frazzled here. I'll turn it down for you a little bit.
And I don't have my fan.
Yeah, no, you don't have a fan, but you do have a nice little space heater next to you if you want to use that instead.
No.
Well, I just cranked down the AC, so hopefully
turned down to like 69 or something.
69. That's crazy talk. All right, 73. 73.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I was wondering where you were. I wasn't sure if there was like some sort of mishap or you sawed off your leg or something.
Lummy did a heavy task for me, and then I got into the moped.
Okay.
And the generator. I got a whole waste management wonderland back.
Oh, I know. It's a theme park to some people. To me, it makes no sense, but I imagine it makes you very happy because it's all of your all the things you love so much. You can see, the undercarriage of your car. You got coats.
I got a car lift.
You got a car lift.
Got some tools.
Do you ever sit out there and just like hang out and kind of like look out and just appreciate all the hodgepodge of shit you have out there? The shed. I know you used to be an artist. I know you hung up your painting easel up.
I can always go back, but I got so many other projects going on here. I got my 4-wheeler back there, my side-by-side.
Right.
I got just, painting. Plus, I was running out of supplies, and I was going to have to buy all new canvases.
Yeah, you're running out of room. You got a lot of shit going on.
And I'm trying to, within this little world, trying to, continually organize stuff. Like, Manson's and Carl Harris's office is my next project. I got those kind of roughed in.
What is that? near the bullpen? Those two
That one
rooms?
and then
Okay.
the one over here.
Oh,
But
okay.
you've never been in there.
No.
Look what I found, though. I found this safe. See that safe to your right that's on the... See that little mini safe that's to the right by the stairwell? Look to your right, and then see where the door is.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
I found this little mini safe under...
Can we crack it open?
I don't know. Well, no.
Do you have like a sledgehammer or something?
No, I don't have the... I don't know where the key is. I'm going to try to find a key.
But you don't know what's in there.
No.
It's so exciting!
But it could be bad stuff.
Of course. Of course it could be bad. Is it a key safe or is it a combination?
It's a key.
But you don't know where the key is.
No idea. I'm sure
Ooh,
Blitz
that's exciting.
could break into it, but I wouldn't want Blitz necessarily to see what's in it. So if Blitz is the guy that's cracking it for you, the cracker it has rights to see what, you know what I'm saying? Like if he's going to do that favor for me.
What do you think it is? What's the best thing it could be besides just a bunch of cash?
There's no cash in there.
Oh, okay. It's just an empty safe, possibly.
Probably pictures, nude, like naughty ones.
Oh, well, that's a treasure.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, that could be, but that's gotten me in trouble before.
Right, but this time it's not getting out. You're not making any copies of anything. Nothing's getting recorded.
Let's get something straight. I didn't make copies.
No, I know you didn't make it. I'm just saying ways that you could be incriminated.
Well, the thing that got me in trouble, I didn't make a copy of.
I understand that. I'm just saying that, I'm trying to avoid possible bad things happening from things that are found in the safe.
Bubba Tapegate.
Yeah, like if something gets out, it's all about just the leak. No one's committing crimes unless they get caught. You know what I mean? You're free until you get caught. That's when things go awry.
Right.
But I did kind of want to talk about Thanksgiving a little bit because I was a little worried last night that you were going to be mad at me today.
Why?
Because, well, here's the deal. Like I
would only be mad at you if it was the way that I told you today on the air it went down. Like if I thought that you thought I was really, really upset that you didn't make it in lieu of going to Johnny's.
Oh, no. See, I thought it was going to be the reverse of that. I thought you were going to be like, oh, now you want to come to my Thanksgiving, bitch, because your plan didn't work out. And it's not that my plan didn't work out. It just got rescheduled.
No, but see, I didn't. You automatically assume that I would. See, that's the flawed thinking that you have of my demeanor and the fact that you just like your fucking boyfriend, instantaneously wants to make me be out to be the bad guy. Whereas I was more mindful of it. I had caused you to change your plans.
No.
See?
It was quite the opposite.
We were both kind of more freaked out that the other one was freaked out that we were freaked out or something like that.
Okay, but can I tell you something about yourself but I don't want you to be mad at me.
No, I mean.
I need a mad-free pass.
Yeah, of course.
This is a confession with Bummel.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I feel like your reaction to things is somewhat unpredictable. So some days you couldn't be cooler. Like you're like, yeah, fucking take the car.
You mean like today?
Yeah, today you were awesome. You're super cool. But then there are other days, usually depending on if you're going through a lot of shit outside of the show that maybe impact the way you respond to something that happens within the show.
Yeah.
So that kind of freaks me out because I don't know how you might
ever. But okay, I agree.
Right.
I understand your concern, and I probably agree with you. I'm probably not the. You know what? As much as I think I'm the easiest guy to work for, I also think perhaps I could be a hard person to work for.
It honestly just depends on the day or the week.
But I'm not that. I'm not.
No, you're not that bad. But I just don't want to ever feel like I've offended or slighted you, or just was unnecessarily insulting. So I didn't want to think that me going to your Thanksgiving that you would be like, oh, now you need a place to go. Because you know what my favorite game to play is. I've talked about this before.
Worst case scenario.
Correct. So I never think like, oh, Bubba's going to be like, yeah, she's here.
And you're with the right person dating wise for
exactly.
that game.
We're very much on par in terms of
negativity.
We're
cynical.
We're cynical, but we're also just realists, and we know that this is the possibility of things happening.
More cynical than real.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. We are cynical. Right.
And I put you two together.
You really did, and I appreciate that. And I know that we've had a few conversations in private about Blitz and I getting together, and all of my fears, I was afraid for so long that, if things went awry, that I'd be fired, or I wasn't sure. But then you kind of just get to a point, I guess I got to this point where I just didn't care. And I thought that, not that anything is more important than this job, but you just go, I got to give us a try.
But there also becomes a point where nothing's more important in this job other than your happiness. And the fact that, like, okay, am I going to stay synced? Okay, so I like this guy because I could see I could see that there was an attraction or a like.
There was definitely chemistry.
Right. And so, and I am the person that, I guess I'm the boss here, and
I'd say that.
I work closely with both of you, very close with him, and I certainly knew how he felt because he was not miserable, but frustrated because you were so dead on not dating a person at work. Like
the hard nut to crack.
Right. And when you have your mind set on something, it's really takes an act of, I don't want to say God because you don't believe in him, neither do I. But what I'm saying is, like, you're a very resilient, stay true to your belief. You're tough to waver. Once you're locked in on something, you're and so he was very frustrated because he knew that he liked you, and he knew all your little quirks and all your little idiosyncrasies and your weirdness, and Blitz and his guy is equally as weird, and I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say to Blitz's face. Like, I mean, I'm not.
No, he definitely has unique interests, and that's what I like most about him.
Right, and so we would talk. Him and I would guy talk, and he would be like, what's, and I'm sure that he doesn't have a problem with any of this. I mean, I would never. I mean, my loyalty is to him. You know that.
Yeah, as it should be.
And I'm not trying.
You've known the guy for like what, 20 some odd years.
He was my roommate, and he helped me raise Tyler for a time. And he just, he's just,
tuck you in.
Yeah, he would
rock
tuck
you
me
to sleep.
in. Sure, yeah. And so, but he was frustrated because he knew that you two would get along.
And we did get along.
Well, he knew that, but he also knew romantically, if we could say that.
Yeah.
He knew that if you guys were dating, that because he'd seen he'd seen your frustrations, or we had heard your stories.
Sure.
And we know that you're weird, and you're just not normal in a lot of different. You're normal in a lot of ways, but like you got your little eating hang-ups. You got your little.
Oh yeah, I'm very atypical in a lot of ways.
OCD.
Absolutely.
You're just you're not like the Merch Crick, for instance. She's got some weird, but doesn't have near the hang-ups you do.
No, she's a lot more. She's more chill, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more regimented in how I like things.
And she listens, and you don't. And so
that's also true.
So, but he knew. He knew how he is, and he knew that if he was your boyfriend or he dated you, he knew how he would treat you, and he knew that you would respond well. Like let's just put me in that spot. Let's say I liked you,
right?
And and by all the means, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Blitz. Like I'm not. We're playing a game.
It's a hypothetical,
right? But I would know, like, let's say, you started here and just replace me for Blitz. I like you, but you're like very steadfast about not working with somebody that you work with, especially your boss. And but I also know that I couldn't put up with this bitch's shit for a day. Like, I know, I would know that in my head. Yeah. Listen, this bitch would drive me insane. Yeah. We would be fighting every fucking day because I won't put up with this bullshit that she had. All your
right, the cuddling,
right,
the holding of hands.
Yeah, like if you were
the weird eating.
If you and I were on the couch, I'd be like, get the fuck off me a little bit.
Right.
So I would know if I was trying to court you or I liked you that, man, we are not going to jive.
No, because we're not very compatible.
No.
Like, the only thing we can agree on is like Ben Shapiro.
Well, hold on. We're compatible as friends.
Yes.
All day.
Right.
I mean, fuck, you and I can hang out. We have hung out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually have a really good time.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're cynical. We can cut on people. Like, we have
good senses of humor.
We have Blitz. We have a common denominator in Blitz.
Right.
And so, but you're truly like a good, and I don't have a lot of good female friends because, to be honest,
you fucked them all.
Well, here's the deal: most men are gonna lie if they say that they have a lot of female friends because that just means you're a loser. Because most females I want to fuck.
Yeah, and you're
If
really
I'm
not going to want
gonna
to
hang out with
befriend a woman that you're not sexually attracted to.
Right.
Like you're hoping, maybe you're not fucking, but you're hoping that one day she has a moment where, she needs you, you're there, and then boom, you're fucking.
But truly, I can honest to God say that I don't have that disposition with you.
Well, I could
truly
honored.
Just be your friend. Really, seriously, I could truly just be your friend.
Right.
And although this is really going to piss off Blitz, but like you're attractive, and I'm attracted to you.
Thank you.
I could fuck you physically.
Right.
I just want to deal with the mental
right,
bullshit.
the mental fuckery that would I would mentally fuck you, and you wouldn't like that very much.
You're not a one and done chick.
No.
You're a fucking, and then I would try to make you a one and done.
Right.
And then you would ruin my life because I'm like, listen, bitch, maybe next Thursday, next Friday, I don't know.
Hold me.
No.
You want me?
No.
My hand?
No.
We watch
no.
a chick flick?
No, but you know what? There's a Lucas late model race coming on here for
God, that's the worst.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, you're physically certainly
fuckable. Absolutely.
But not the baggage that comes with. Meanwhile, Blitz, we'd be guy. I gotta get back on topic here. So Blitz and I were guy talking, and he's like, man, she's got a fucking rockin' body, and she's cute. And she's just, I know I got as many little fucking weird hang-ups as she does, and her little weird hang-ups I could certainly get through.
Our mental illnesses are compatible with one another.
Right, and he knew that.
Yes.
And so it was so frustrating for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. And it got to a point, I hope I'm not talking out of school here, but it got to a point where he was ready to give up.
I think there were a few times he was ready to give up, and I don't blame him.
He was like, fuck her.
I was very steadfast.
And that's when he was rolling through the co-eds and shit like that. And not look, I think the co-eds that he was rolling through certainly were not relationship material.
Mm-hmm.
They were just guys fucking.
Yeah.
Guy fucking.
Mm-hmm.
But all along, he knew, he just knew you two would be cool. And I can remember one time, because we meet every morning.
Yeah.
I remember one time I'm like, hey man, what's up? Anything going on with you and on? He's like, no, fuck that bitch. It's just I don't know what the fuck
her problem is.
Yeah. It's like we hang out, and I'm just, he's like, I'm to the point where I'm just fucking over it. Fuck her. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah. Listen, I get it. I said no many times. Honestly,
even to me personally, we're going to the bowling alley, and I'm like, Anna, for real, I gotta let's for my boy.
Yeah,
can you tell? Does my guy got a chance? And you're like, no, I really don't think.
Yeah,
so.
and honestly, I think it was definitely a no. And there was, like you said, once I have my mind made up, it's virtually impossible
Katie
for me
the
to.
Door, you're not getting in.
Yeah, it's virtually impossible for me to turn around.
I'm going to tell you who did.
By the way, the chat is collapsed, and I'm trying to figure out how to open it up. So if you're sending shit like money, I'm sorry, I'm not calling it out.
We don't know how to.
Yeah.
Because honest to God, Anna,
I'm trying to figure out.
Chat got in my.
Oh, I know. Chat fucks with you.
No, but it's it got and you know what? I hope that the great people that the Creatine Travises and the Iggies and the Reds and just the Wizzies and just all the great people that participate in chat. I hope you realize that a few fuckers ruined it, because I used to love to just look at chat, and you know what? A lot of times, honest to God, I'm being honest. A lot of times, I would get a one-liner from them. Or
really?
We'd be doing something and there'd be a great, and I'd steal that. And sometimes I'd give them credit, but a lot of times chat was kind of like my little co-producer a little bit, and it was really great. And then just what was last week, they just started with the Lummy thing.
Yeah.
And it's just they were just so mean to me and so unfair in the fact that one of the things that the show is all about is how transparent we are, and we air a lot of our grievances on the air, and that's what makes us us. That's what we do. That's one of the things I think people are attracted to. Fuck, if they got issues, they'll just fucking air them right out on the air. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
We've had you in tears. We've had Seth walk out. I fucking have been up Blitz's ass. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So being the leader, I sometimes have to make a leader type decision. And, Lummy squirreled me on something I felt that I didn't need to be squirreled on. When I'm laser locked on some stats that I'm reading from a credible source, not some fucking, about, and then he squirrels me on this deal. Squirrel me when the squirreling makes sense, because it adds to. Don't squirrel me to try to trip me up. Yeah,
and I've done that before unintentionally, and it doesn't end well. And you just have to be better, like, reading the room. Like, if you're in a kind of, like you said, laser locked, you're trying to make a point sort of deal, and someone is, bumping you off that path, then you get upset, and rightfully so. I understand.
And so don't trip me up. Add so everybody and that's just knowing the room, and sometimes it'll work out for you. Most of the time it'll work out for you. And this particular time, it pissed me off. Like you said, I'm hard to read. So I go off on Lummy, and God forbid. So now I just feel as if, like, they're there just to fuck with me and to counter program me. So I think it's just best that I focus on what I want to talk about with my people in my room, my co-hosts, and not have that. Although everybody's great in there for the most part.
Yeah, there's usually just a few bad apples that kind of ruin it for everybody. But Lil Wilbur's Afterbirth, $50 cash.
Thank
Super
you.
Chat. Appreciate it.
So anyway, I finally, this is what did it. Rachel Reagan. She is the one.
What?
That got me to finally kind of really push you and Blitz.
Oh, back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was up at the track in February.
Yeah.
And we're riding around.
Which is when we started dating, like shortly after that, we started dating officially.
Well, yeah, she was there a week, and it was me, Merch Crick, and her.
Yeah, Hogan in the Trees, I remember.
And we were high as fucking, absolute, all of us were
Billy
just high
Goat.
as fuck. And I just said, Reagan, will you be honest with me? I'm imitating myself now.
Right.
She's like, yeah, sure, Papa. And I go, does Blitz got a chance with Anna? And she's like, you know what? As Anna's roommate, I tell her all the time that guy is so good for her, and he takes care of you, and he's there for you, and if he's just a solid guy.
Yeah,
that's what she said. He's a solid guy,
and I've never said differently. I've never said anything otherwise.
And so, but when I had her, and I knew that you and her had those discussions, because she told me I've discussed it with her, and I've tried, and she said I've tried to get her to come
open up to the idea,
right? And so when I knew that you guys were girl talking a little bit, then I came in for the kill.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, you know what? It's in the bitch.
And you really did.
And I'm like, it's in Anna's head. She's had not just me, but other people that her roommate, who she lives with and knows her. I mean, they've had that discussion. Fuck it, I'm bringing it up. I'm like, I'm gonna kind of
drive it home.
Not only am I gonna drive it home, but I'm gonna kind of hard push it. Like, I'm gonna say, Anna, for real, stop being a hard-headed bitch. And what does it hurt to go on one date?
Yeah, but you understand that it was never Blitz. It was the fact that we worked together that freaked me out. So from my point of view, from my POV, if you will, it was never Blitz. Blitz was never the issue. We would have probably started dating a year before if we didn't work together. But I was so scared, Bubba, because first off, I pretty much burned my bridges in this town, kind of like you. Like, there's nowhere else I could really go as far as a job. So my fear was I would go on a few dates with this guy. It wouldn't work out. He would turn on me. I'd be fired, and I had to have nowhere to go because I like playing worst case scenario.
Yeah, but
so that's why I was so freaked out. So even though it sucked that I waited so long, I'm kind of glad I did, because by the time that we started dating, I was so sure that he was gonna work out for. Not forever, possibly. I mean, I hope so. But I'm saying I knew that it wasn't just going to be like a one and done. It wasn't going to be just like a month of dating and it would fizzle out. Like, I knew that we both really cared about each other.
You played it right.
You know?
You played it right.
I kind of just wanted to make sure that it was the right move before we dive into this. And, this is uncharted territory for all three of us. Like, I've never dated someone on the air. You never had two coworkers. Well, you understand. Never mind. You get it.
Yeah.
That, you're not involved in, but you have to kind of work around. And then, I'm not a very overtly sexual person. in my private life, in my public life, I don't really come across, like, I never lead with sexuality because I never have. It's just like not my gimmick, I guess. So I knew that I'd be asked all these questions about like, oh, blah, blah, you know.
But we really don't.
No, but again, everything gets
kinda,
kind of old. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe the first couple weeks it was hot, but news. But now it's like just kind of part of the makeup of the show.
Like today, I asked about how big his wiener was.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like
it's
how
very,
big is his wiener when it's cool in your vagina.
Right.
Like no, it's just like. It like almost like the way a fraternity or brothers would talk about it.
Exactly. You know? And now I feel more comfortable within the show, my place in the show, my place with Blitz. We've been in a relationship for next February will be a year. Yeah. So I mean, I'm feeling a lot. Together. Right. So I feel a lot
Has
more
he farted
comfortable.
in front of you?
Bubba, we were farting in front of each other before we even started dating.
See, right
but
there. You should write a book. You want to have a successful relationship? Start farting before you start dating.
But here's the thing, though. I love farts. Like, I think farts are so funny. So funny. And even though I kind of like highbrow stuff, I will always think either people falling and people farting will always just be so funny.
Here's my thing. I have actually, if I don't feel comfortable enough to rip one in front of the person that I like, and she on the same thing is not comfortable with ripping one in front of me, then we're really just not being real. Because people fart.
Yes.
And and I, just like you, find farts are funny.
Now, do you have to, I mean, I know obviously we're talking about Merch Crick because that's kind of who's in your life now, but do you have to usually coax people to fart in front of you, or are they usually willing participants?
No. Like if I'm dating a girl or I'm with a girl, and then I'm like,
you need to start farting, bitch.
Well, I'll be like, you know what? Can I be honest with you? I really need you to fart. And they'll be like, what do you mean? I'll be like, listen, you know what? Like, I know. And first of all, if you're going to be involved in dating me, you already know I'm a fucking nut job. Like,
right.
You already know what. There's a lot of baggage and there's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
And there's, So, like, and if I was with a girl and she's like, oh no, I'd be like, you know what? Then I don't, honest to God, I as stupid as it may sound.
We're done.
Wind it up, Boy Scout.
Because
I don't think. I'd be like, listen, I think they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm wired, and I almost think that the basis of my cynical mentality is based on farts being funny.
Yeah,
and based on any. And see, I was raised where my mom would be making dinner, and she'd go, "Hey kids." And she would blast
that's how I was raised too.
Yeah, see, so I think it starts with your mom and dad.
Right. If they're fart friendly.
Right. Like would Philip P.K., would he go,
oh,
hey, Anna.
Jesus.
And they go,
oh, yeah.
And
he's farting on me, I'm farting on him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And my mom would try to catch a fart and throw it on us and be like, ah.
Yeah. And then if like my mom would fart, my dad would like really put it over. You know what I mean?
Or my dad would fart and he'd blame it on my mom. He'd go, Jane.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, I didn't fart. You go,
yeah.
And my dad goes, you don't have to say it for the kids know.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he would be the one that ripped one like a gorilla, but she'd blame it on. But see,
would your dad ever like lean over to like and pretend to kiss your mom, but then he would just like fart?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, or pull my finger.
Yeah.
But I do know there are some of my friends that I grew up with who parents never farted in front of each other. I go, oh no.
That's a cold home.
We don't fart. We don't fart.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey Dahmer's parents didn't fart, and look how he turned out.
I mean, like I'll take it to the next level. Like I don't have a problem with shitting in front of you.
Like door open, or like I want you in the room with me, or
no, like door closed, but like I like to stick my head in sometime and go, hey, how you doing in there?
Oh shit!
And fucking Merch Crick gets so mad to the point where she locks the door now.
Does she? You know when she's shitting?
Yeah,
just because she's in there for a minute.
No, because she's not. She doesn't really shit. She's a girl and she didn't shit a lot.
But
when she does, we have 2 bathrooms at my apartment, and I have one that I shit in, and she's got one.
You guys have your own shit boxes.
Yeah. So when that bathroom's door is closed, I know that she's shitting. So I can't get in there nowadays because she locks it because
she just wants some privacy.
I've worn out my shit welcome.
Yeah.
But I would usually, she'd be in there shitting, almost maybe even wiping. I'd be like, I'd just fucking open the door. Hey, how's that shit going? She's like, I'm shitting.
Oh,
Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, I just shit, and you should see this thing.
Do you ever pull her in and make her look at your shit?
I'll tell her, if you don't come and look at my shit, we're breaking up. and she's like, I go like, you've got to see this shit. This is a really nice shit.
Is that usually just for cables, or does that go for piles, or just anything that's impressive? I guess.
Yeah, because shit's
or
coming
bloody.
No, I don't ever.
When it's you never have like a concerned shit. It's always like a proud shit.
I'm getting reports that we're overmodulated.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Maybe turn our levels down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever. You're just so excited over. You're just fucking got us wide open on it.
All right. I think that should be better.
All right. Perfect. Now, what about that? What were you saying now?
Shitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about.
Are you a shit? Like
I hate admitting this because there's definitely a double shit standard and a double fart standard when it comes to the genders, which is unfortunate for me because I like doing both of those things.
Because most women will lie about it.
They'll lie about it, and they just think that men don't want to hear about women shitting. So we're like, we're supposed to be these, beautiful, sexual, flawless creatures,
right.
But we're humans just like you.
Right.
We got butthole hair and we shit and we fart and we still have digestive systems. Just because we got tits doesn't mean we don't fart.
If you go to Blitz and go, honey, guess what? And I go, I just really had a good shit.
Oh yeah, but like, I'm a big shit talker, and I don't mean like how it usually means. I mean, I love talking about.
So
poops.
You're the kind of girl be like, hey, honey, guess what? Man, you wouldn't believe the shit I just had.
Well, I usually
and most girls aren't. You're pretty shit cool like that.
I'm pretty shit cool.
Most girls aren't shit cool.
No, but you just get to a certain point where I think it's mostly an age thing where you're just like, fuck it, and I also know
not for me. Like I'm right out of the hole. If I'm dating a new girl and
no,
she
but
ain't
I mean,
shit
like
cool,
as far as a woman goes, usually you hit a certain age where you get more comfortable talking about shitting. And also,
shitting is cool.
Yeah, but I also my girlfriends that I talk about shitting with, and that they tell me about their shit stories.
Shitters.
No, I like them so much more when they tell me about the diarrhea episode they had. I think it's funny, and I feel closer to them. So when I talk to people about shitting, it's really like a kind of a bonding experience because you can't really talk to.
They look at it oppositely.
Some do, yeah, but those aren't my good friends. But my good friends, we can always talk about,
You can almost kind of
let it rip.
Pre-qualify how potentially good your friend could be.
It's a friend filter. Absolutely.
It's a filter by all means.
But usually with Blitz, what happens is like I'll just come out of the bath. I'll be in there for a while. I'll come out and I just have like a huge smile on my face. And he's like, oh, was it a good one? And I go, yeah.
Do you ever...
And then I'm like, let's go to the gym. Let's go for a bike ride. Like, I feel so much lighter.
Do you ever save it and say, hey, listen, you should go look at it?
No, I no.
See, that's taking shit into the next level.
I don't think he would like that.
Oh, yes.
I don't think he would like that if I wanted to show him my pubes.
Have you tried?
No, to be fair, I have not tried.
So,
but,
like, if the next time you got a night, like, okay, if the next time that you poop, and it's one that you would verbally tell Blitz about, hey, I just had a nice one.
Yeah.
Why don't you not flush it?
Okay.
And say now, would you like to look at it?
I mean, I guess I could broach the subject.
And he might say, no, probably not.
Yeah.
And then you would know where you stand on that.
Yeah, I guess I could try. But
now, okay, but
do you ever feel like there's
another token? What if he said that to you?
Well, he's left a surprise for me before by accident. It didn't go over well.
Oh, you didn't like that?
So it was right before we were about to, go to Pound Town.
Yeah.
So you're in a certain mind space, Bubs. You want the candles going. You want to smell nice things when you're getting ready for that to go down. So I said something to him or he said something to me. And so we both know it's about to go down. The candles are lit.
I mean, as far as the blasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go into the bathroom.
Say we're fixing a blast.
We're fixing a blast.
Okay. I love that.
And I go into the bathroom because I like to pee before I do it and after I do it.
Sure. That's actually good for you.
Yeah, especially, tract. I mean, I do it before because otherwise it'd be uncomfortable, but I do it after so I don't get a UTI.
I just moved my camera a little bit. Yeah, but that's, it's good. That's if a girl can pee before and after, then you have lowered your risk of a UTI. Yes.
Yeah. So, just doing regular protocol, and I'm in a certain type of mood.
Regular pussy maintenance.
Right. Just pussy maintenance. Exactly. Right. So I go into the bathroom just to get that last pee-pee out.
Mitch Lucerini, $20 in the Venmo. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And
so you go get the TT.
Yeah, so I'm about to go TT, and the toilet seat is down. So I just lift it up to go to the bathroom, and there's just a huge log. Yeah, and it totally killed, and it smelled. Bubs, it smelled so bad.
Hold on, that is
so all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'll see you in 2 minutes. I'll be right back, and then suddenly you hear, ew!
Hold on though. But that is a very isolated moment.
But it killed the mood. I mean, not enough to not bang, but still.
See, now, if I shit before I'm going to blast, I always take a shower because I feel like, I'm not going to have anybody down there doing some shit. No matter how good you wipe.
That's just bad etiquette.
No matter how bad, no matter how well you wipe.
Yeah.
And even if you used like, the Preparation H little fucking wipes, or you have, and I got to tell you, I do not get paid by these people.
You can promote. But hashtag not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. I've never taken a dime from them, but the Tushy gimmick.
Yeah.
It just really knocks off all the like after you blast with Tushy, then all you have is just like a little water.
Right.
You just got to dry. At that point, instead of wiping your asshole, you're drying it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, but I can't poop and then go right to sex.
Okay. I think the poop he made was right before he got in the shower. But he just forgot to, according to him, he forgot to flush because it fucks with the water temperature.
It does.
So he left and he was like, oh, I'll just flush it when I'm done with the shower. Well, guess what? That motherfucker forgot and left that steaming pile of shit ready for me to see and smell right before we had the sex.
But what if it was this condition and not that? What if it was like an evening, like a weekend? And you guys had, been out riding and biking and going to eat, whatever the fuck you guys did.
Yeah.
And you guys are at home. And he goes and takes his shit. And it's not, and you guys aren't going to have sex. You guys aren't, it's either you've had sex or you're not having sex.
You weren't planning on it.
Yeah. And he takes a nice big Lincoln log, Willie. Big old cable, deer-like brown, just 10 out of 10
shit.
Yeah, nice. Real coiled up.
Nice.
Real fucking, and it's not. And he goes, honey, not for nothing, but if you want to get a real good look at a nice shit, I just laid one. Now I'm going to do one or two things. I'm going to go flush it. Or if you'd like to get a gander on the deal, let me know. And knowing you, how inquisitive you are, you would go, you could not help yourself.
I'd say save me a peek. Yeah, just don't flush it yet. But not before I'm going to eat or fuck.
No,
but
like you got your little hang up.
Yeah.
Not before we're fixing to fuck or we're going to eat.
Yeah.
But I'm a few hours from eating.
Yep.
I'm just having a good time.
Yeah, we fucked earlier.
We're getting ready to watch this fucking doc.
Right.
Wow. That's
that's impressive.
That's a nice shit.
Job well done.
See,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be like kind of gross, but you know me, like I kind of like gross shit.
But that instantaneously makes you cool.
Yeah, but timing is everything. Like if we're just about to sit down for a meal and he's like, I just took a shit, then I'd be like, dude.
But that's timings for everything on everything.
That's true.
I mean, like whether it's fucking, whether it's eating, whether it's looking at my shit, whether it's choosing.
Right.
Like even arguments need to be calculated.
Right.
Like,
is it worth it?
Right.
Do I want to bring this up?
Right. This is pissing me off. Do I just shut the fuck up and just deal with it?
What if you're gassy during sex? Do you still let one rip like during the fucking...
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you should maybe reserve just like a little bit of decorum for, romance? Or
if you're really getting after it and you're really,
I know, Bubs, like you get in a compromising position.
Yeah.
You're crunched up.
Maybe you're not even trying to.
She's laying on you in the wrong, the wrong way, and it's just kind of poking you.
You're not really trying to even consciously fart, but you queef one out, like one, like just, like.
Yeah, it just kind of slips out of you.
But you know what? Like, I got to be honest. I've been with women that like are just so cool. They just don't even. They just let it. Like it's just part of the. It's like they don't make a big deal about it.
They don't even react to it.
No. And then
they don't even like laugh.
Well,
because I feel like if we were blasting and Blitz like really farted loud like he does sometimes, I mean, I don't think I could do anything but laugh. Like I would just fucking lose it.
Yeah, but see, with you girls, we don't know if it's a queef or if it's a rectum fart or a vagina fart.
Yeah, front fart, back fart.
Yeah, like front farts are hot.
Back farts, I feel like, are not hot with the chick. Like, you don't want to be banging Merch Crick and then she just fucking.
Yeah, yeah.
This is why you blast before you eat.
But if it was if it was a queef sponsored by Arby's, because they had too much Arby's sauce in there, that's hot. Like,
wait, does that mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're really going to town, you got a squirter. I mean, you
Hear ye, hear ye. The trumpets are going off. Yeah, but those don't like smell. Like, I guess, queefs are hot, but farts are not hot.
You know what? You need to have a T-shirt to walk down UT. No bra, kind of your tits jacked up a little bit, and just say, with your little donkey pants, and just say, hair in a ponytail. Queefs are hot. Do you know how many guys would just go fucking completely nuts over that? Queefs are hot.
I mean, is that a thing that guys talk about?
No, but a woman that has that mentality.
Do you sister girl with your guys and you're like, oh man, she was queefing so bad last time, it was so hot?
No, we don't really. I don't think. No. Well, yeah. I mean, we talk about girls very barbaric compared to the way you guys talk about them.
Yes and no.
We look.
Depends on the friend.
We kind of talk to you like it's property.
Yeah, I figured.
Like you guys are a little more love story on the way. We're more like mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are like, so we were on the couch and we were watching.
Right, there's more context where you're just like, I was grabbing her left nipple.
We were watching Notebook and we were watching whatever.
Right.
And we could just feel it, and so he started playing with my hair, and then. Whereas a guy would be like, yeah, we were on the couch, we started fucking.
Yeah. You just get right to the good shit.
Yeah. Next thing you know, she's sucking my dick, and it was so good. And then I was like, fuck, let me take. So I took her panties off, and I got her from behind, put a load in her.
And
that's how we do it.
Are there any friends that you can't really discuss that with, or are all of your friends just kind of like that?
Well, some of the married guys you can't. Like,
really?
Yeah, like I can't talk to like Jay like that.
Oh, right. So it does depend on the person.
Yeah, like you can't,
Because I feel like Jay doesn't disclose shit about his.
No, Jay is fucking.
He'll just be like, she's got a great ass. She does have a great bottom, by the way, or rear or something.
Jay's wife.
Oh, I know. I've met Kendall. She's very beautiful, and she has like a body of like a 21-year-old, and she's like 40.
She's a country girl.
Yeah, and that adds a level of hotness.
She rode horses, and she likes four-wheelers.
But like, you weren't even a country guy. I feel like you grew up to be one, kind of. But like, you're from fucking suburbia.
Yeah, but
right?
I rode. My dad was a factory worker. We had a garage behind our house. We wrenched on cars. Larry Plummer had a motorcycle, and we took back to this place called the Jumps, which was this big field that you'd jump your motorcycle. So I didn't live on a farm, but I didn't live in a city either. I lived in suburbia that had woods all around it, and then we were always fucking around in the woods.
Okay, so it was kind of a mix.
Yeah, like it was kind of a hybrid.
Okay.
A suburb that has, country stuff around it. And then in the summers, I'd go out and bale hay, on the farm.
Okay, so you did do some country shit.
Oh, yeah, I did a lot of country shit. I just didn't live on a farm.
Right.
Most people don't really live on a farm, but they fuck around on a farm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
California, like you understand where you were born and raised is completely out. I was born in the Midwest. Literally, right behind my house was, cornfields, and although I lived in a little suburb, just one street away where all the farmers lived and shit like that, and like we didn't have oceans or anything like that.
But also, here's the thing: I feel like you lived in a much more like homogenous society, because like Midwest, most of your friends were like white, middle class, upper middle class, like kind of Christian, Baptist, or Protestant, or what the fuck ever. You just kind of had a similar thing. Where I'm from, it was just such a hodgepodge of people who were transplants from either other countries, other places of the U.S.
You lived in a far more
so it's like
culturally diverse. Like mine was like white guy.
Right.
You know, we had 2 black kids in the entire school.
Right. Yeah. So it was unusual where we had, I mean, there was no sort of like San Diego culture other than, you know, the stereotypical like surfer beach, and very few of my friends even surfed. So it was like I had a bunch of Asian friends, and they're all from fucking Vietnam and China, and then a lot of Hispanic Mexican friends. I had black friends, I had white Christian friends, and then I had all my Jew friends. So there was no like kind of theme in terms of like San Diego culture. You know, that's much different than like Warsaw, Indiana.
California versus Indiana in itself. And then you're in a part of California that's, you know, really kind of a cool, you know, like, I mean, it's
tons of transplants. So most people there weren't from there. So there was no like kind of tradition to the town or anything. It was just kind of a hodgepodge of shit, which was great. I mean, I had an amazing upbringing, and I was exposed to a lot of things that I think most people weren't.
Your high school was probably way different than my high school.
Oh, yeah. The demographic breakdown was probably we were opposite.
99% white, and it was like, you know, it was still kind of like high school Harry varsity blue shit where your girlfriend wore your letter jacket, and, you know, if you were a football player or an athlete, you were kind of cool, and the nerds and the fucking people that smoked cigarettes were scumbags and hillbillies.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just, you kind of had to be kind of tough because you could get called out in a fight, and you could fight back then and not get sued.
Right.
You know, like I can remember this one story. His name was Scott Zook, and he tried to fight me. Him and I was dating this girl named Nikki Dordery, and he used to date her. And, so I was at dinner, having dinner, and my dad it always was just me and my sister and my mom, because my dad worked overnights in the factory,
right,
at a place called R.R. Donnelly's, which they were the largest printer in the world at the time. I don't even know that the printing industry is a thing anymore.
No, like, everything's digital.
You know, like they printed like the Sears catalog and the J.C. Penney catalog and, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And so my dad, it was like 7:00 on like October night. I just got home from football practice, and there's this little fucker. His name was Scott Zook from Warsaw, Indiana, and he was like one of these. Now he was one of these karate guys. Now now this was like 1982. Okay. So there was not Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It was just these stupid fucking karate guys. It was just literally jobber karate.
Just a place to send your kid after school.
Right. You know, like bullshit, like kung fu shit. Well, he was a little dude. I was like maybe 210, 205.
In what grade again?
This would have been 11th grade.
Okay.
So I was like 205. You know, 5'10", 205. And he was like 5'6", 150.
Oh, tiny little thing.
But he was like, there was all these newspaper articles and stuff about Scott Zook takes home, you know, fucking trophy. And every time, like every month or so, that he'd be at some karate tournament, and he'd be like, you know, he'd win the whole fucking tournament. And so everybody was scared he was this karate guy, you know, shit like that. Well, I was a wrestler, a folk style, you know, I wrestled high school, you know, folk style, you know, single leg takedown,
Roman
double leg
Greco.
takedown. Yeah, like that. So I was dating his girl that he had dated prior. And I'd heard kind of at school that he was going to try to start a fight with me. Well, I told my mom, we really didn't fight at school because, man, they were pretty strict. And I was during football season. If I got caught fighting at school,
get thrown off the team.
Well, you could lose like at least a game.
Okay.
You know, and I was a starter and everything like that. And I didn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of status involved with being a jock, so you didn't want to risk losing that.
So I'm having dinner one night with my mom and my sister, and knock on my door, and there's Ricky Hernandez. His name was Ricky Hernandez, and he was this little Hispanic guy that was on the wrestling team with me. And he says, hey, Scott Zook is at the Boggs, Boggs, Boggs baseball fields. It's where it was the local city of Warsaw baseball fields where all the kids played baseball. You know, I'm sure San Diego had a bunch of those, you know, where all the kids played Little League.
Sure.
So Scott Zook's there and he wants to fight you. Well, I turn to my mom and she goes, what's that all about? And I go, well, I'm dating this girl named Nikki now. And she goes, yeah, I know Nikki. And I go, well, he dated her and he's all mad and he's like been talking all this smack at school, how he's going to beat me up, but I can't fight at school because I'll get in trouble. Coach Westover will suspend me for a game. She's like, well, go fight him. That's what my mom said. She goes, she said, do you think you're going to win, or do you think he's going to beat you up? And I'm like, this is completely opposite of how it would go today.
Sure.
And I go, well, Mom, I will beat his ass. He's just a little guy. And then my sister goes, isn't that the guy that's in the paper all the time for being kung fu guy? And I go, yeah, but that shit ain't real. So my mom goes, well, you better call Larry
for some backup.
Yeah, because since he sent his buddy Ricky Hernandez, to
be the messenger.
Yeah, but Ricky Hernandez was going to be there. So I went over. Now Larry lived like from here to the 7-Eleven from me, not very far.
Okay.
So I went over to Larry. I had my van, my 1972 cargo van. That was my car.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, pulled in Larry's house. I said, hey Larry, Scott Zook wants to fight me at Boggs. He goes, okay. I said, will you go with me and just got my back? And he goes, yeah, of course. So I go there. And we pull out, and it's Scott Zook, and he's on the pitcher's mound, and there's nobody there. Like there's nobody.
There's
there.
Not a crowd of kids.
Not one There's 4 people there: me, Ricky Hernandez, Scott Zook, and Larry Plummer.
Okay,
that's it. And so Scott Zook is, and it's almost dark now. It's like 7:00 in October. It's kind of dark, and early October, and Scott Zook's already on the pitcher's mound, and he's doing all this fucking wax on, wax off, and he's got his shirt off.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I was a bigger guy. I didn't take my shirt off. Fuck that. I ain't taking my shirt off. See my man boobs and shit like that. And he's in there, he's already going through his whole fucking routine and shit. And there he goes. Wow. What do you think? I go, oh, whatever. So I walked up to him and I said, so what's your fucking problem? And he goes, the bottom line is, I was dating Nikki before you were, and now you're dating her, and I heard you been talking all this shit about. I go, I've never said a word about you. Well, and he starts coming up with all this bullshit. Yeah, I go, Scott, I've never said a word about you. Well, are you afraid? You trying to get out? No, I'm not fucking afraid, but I've never said a word about you. So what's the point? He goes, the point is, we're fucking fighting. I go, all right, let's go. Let's go. So I just kind of stand there like this. Well, he tries to do one of these kung fu kicks, and he misses.
Oh.
He misses me. I don't know how you miss me. 205. He's 150.
Right.
So then he throws a punch, but it kind of hits me like right here on the shoulder. Doesn't really hurt. And I'm just kind of got my hands up like this, because I'm not a boxer. I'm a wrestler.
Right.
So what I'm going to do
try to take him to the ground.
I'm going to fucking try to take him to the ground. I'm going to fucking single leg him. I'm going to double leg him. I'm going to ankle pick him. I'm going to arm drag him.
It's interesting because you both are kind of have your own martial art.
Right, and I'm not even I'm just a wrestler.
Well, that's kind of a martial art.
Right.
It's a war sport.
Yeah, and I think he's wanting to kick the shit out of me and kung fu me,
yeah.
and I ain't having it.
Yeah.
And because the first one he got in on me, he got one on my right shoulder. I can remember like it was nothing. He got a pretty good kick. His first kick was like a left kick, and he missed, and then his second kick was kind of a roundhouse deal, and he got it right here on my shoulder, and it didn't even hurt. Like, it didn't even fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Well, the next kick, he goes, I grab his leg. I got it. And all I do is
he's doing that one leg hop.
Oh, yeah. And so all I do is then I just trip him. You do the thigh trip.
Yep.
Get on top of him, and we're on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
And all I start doing is taking his fucking face and cheese grating it against the pitcher's mound. I'm literally just fucking cheese grating it. I'm going, you done, motherfucker? Like, yeah. I go, you done? And I kept cheese grating and cheese grating and cheese grating because, there's stones and little rocks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And, especially at the worst, like this, if you go look at, where the Padres play, or where any big team play, the fucking field's immaculate. There's no rocks. It's all perfect, it's clay. Not at where
fucking Warsaw 1982.
No, there's
Boggs Field.
There's gravel. And I'm just fucking. And I got, I outweigh him by 60 pounds. And
that's beautiful.
So then Ricky comes over, and Ricky was a little motherfucker too. And then Larry goes, "What are you going to do about it, Ricky?" And Ricky goes, nothing, because he knew Larry had my back. Larry was my size. Larry was,
Did Larry
5'11".
wrestle?
Yeah, no, but he would have been a great wrestler. Larry, he played football.
Okay, so he was used to like hitting people and slamming into them.
Larry was tougher than me.
Oh, damn.
I was, when Larry and I would like fight a little bit, like the only time I'd have a chance is if I could pull some kind of wrestling move on him and get him down.
Like fight for real or fight like you're just kind of fucking
Larry
around?
and I never have fought. Larry and I have never fought for real in our entire life.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Ever. I mean, verbally, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
sure,
but nothing, never physical. But growing up with your boy, you wrestle around a little bit.
Yeah.
And Larry was stronger than me, and Larry would, if we did square up, like if we squared the fuck up, Larry would beat me. The only chance I would have is if I could get a wrestling move on him. Larry didn't know anything about wrestling. Although had he wrestled, he would have been good as fuck.
Yeah.
So, but, back then you could fight a guy.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that today because their parents would call your parents and you'd get sued and it'd get plastered all over his
Everything's a liability now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, forget about fighting between kids. Like, parents don't even discipline their kids anymore, which I think is problematic. Like, they're like, no, you need a reason with your toddler. It's like, no, you don't. Like,
no, you need to slap.
I mean, you don't have to take the belt out and whip them, but, like, I think that sometimes a little bit of violence goes a long way to kind of drive a lesson home.
You can tell.
Just to say, I'm saying this as a person who's not a parent, by the way, so I feel like I have to say that.
But I'm telling you as a parent.
Yeah.
I'm telling you as a parent, man, if your kid is not afraid of getting their ass whipped. Now, I'm not talking, and again, I think I've talked about this before in the fact that when I was going through with Dr. Krongold and Dr. Satterley with the child custody deal and what is acceptable capital punishment in the state of Florida and what is not, and what is acceptable is to swat them on the ass with your open hand until your hand hurts. And that usually is 2 or 3 swats. That's acceptable. And you will not get called. You will not get, even if you leave a handprint on
That's not child abuse.
It's not. Like the cops will come, and even if they saw your hand mark on your daughter or your son's ass, just your hand mark. Now, I'm not talking about a belt. I'm not talking about, although I got hit with a fucking belt, and I got hit with a fucking fly swatter, and I got hit with a Hot Wheels track, and I got hit with an extension cord.
Yeah, that's a little excessive.
Yeah, but that was, you could do that back in the, back when I was growing up, you could fucking, my dad would get a belt, and he'd belt your ass.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can belt a kid's ass nowadays.
No, I think that's child abuse now.
Yeah, but there are some parents that would literally call the cops on you if you were in your front lawn in suburbia.
Yeah, you mean now?
Yeah, now, today. And your kid's fucking up. He's throwing a baseball. You tell him not to throw the baseball. He throws it through the window. You yoke his fucking ass up, and you lay 3 or 4 good fucking hot ones on his ass. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. He
starts crying.
Yeah.
You're ragdolling him back to the house. Somebody in the neighborhood's going to call the cops on you.
Most likely.
For child abuse.
Yeah, most likely, yes.
I mean, if you're in Walmart nowadays, and I've seen moms, tends to be African-American moms. I'll tell you one thing, man. We're very divided as a country, but the African-American mamas still will whip the fuck out of their kids, and I like that. And, these little white moms, these little fucking suburbia moms, oh, Johnny, don't do that. That's bad. That's a no-no. Don't fucking flip a card. Time out, Willie. No, not Latika. Latika's going to grab Jerome and light his fucking ass up.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I mean,
I don't see a problem in making that attempt, like saying, don't do that. But if they continue, then you got to do something because then they don't fucking respect you. And that's the issue I see today. And I talked to my dad about this a lot because he's a teacher in California, and he's been a teacher for like 25, 26 years. So
he's had to change.
He's seen he's that too, but he's also seen just the downfall of respect for authority within the last 25 years, about how kids used to be way more respectful, and now they're just like, fuck you. So kids don't give a fuck.
The way the kids talk to your dad now compared to how they talked to him 15 years ago.
Way different.
Just in a student-teacher relationship, like interaction.
Yeah.
I bet you he has kids now tell him, fuck off. Fuck you. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was unheard of 10 years ago.
Yeah, he just realized that he has to be very, very careful. He's never alone in a room with a student, male or female, by himself, because then it's like you don't have an alibi. They start making claims about shit. This guy touched me, hit me, whatever. So he's always make sure that he is, in the public eye, that someone's there. And it's really, really sad because now the kids have the power.
Now your dad has to go to work and cover his ass mode.
Yeah,
he can't really, be as effective as a teacher because he's constantly worrying about
the parents won't have his back.
Right? No,
Whereas like when I was growing up, and I'm sure definitely when you were growing up, here's the thing: I never got in trouble as a kid because I was afraid of everything. But had I come,
afraid of everything.
Yeah, I was afraid of authority. But I mean, if I would have come home because I was disruptive. Or even if I ever got out of a car, like someone carpooled, like a friend's mom drove me home, and I got out of the car and I didn't say thank you.
Oh yeah, me
My
too.
dad would grab me, like, not choke me, but he'd direct me with like the back of his hand in the back of my neck back to the car. What do we say? And I'm like, thank you. So manners were like drilled into me pretty hard.
Phil was a lot like Doug. You.
I mean, there was no belt involved or anything, but he was pretty stiff when it came to respect and appreciation, gratitude, and manners. Both my parents were very big on manners.
Oh, my mom and dad would even be like, I would go, can I go outside? And they go, I don't know, can you? May I go outside? Like even to the point where like that. Like a lot of people when they see me do my food review, I'm not overly polite. It's just the way I talk to when I am dealing with.
You're just a respectful person.
Right. I'm always that way, whether it's in a restaurant or at a drive-through or talking to a police officer, and because it was instilled into me as a kid, like just even as small as can I, may I,
right.
or if I go, hey, me and Tommy, no, you and Tommy, or like
Tommy and I,
or Tommy and I,
yeah,
like one thing I hate is, and I'm illiterate to an extent, but you don't hear me say seen. I seen that.
Oh, right.
I brung that.
You're very good about your tenses.
Yeah, like I hate people when they say, yeah, I seen that. I seen that. Oh, just nothing.
I seen it.
I seen that. I hate that more than anything because my parents would have did correct me.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know. Well, you got some, looks like we got some phone calls.
We do have some phone calls. Yeah, let's take a few phone calls.
It's your show.
Let's take a few phone calls. Hello, who's this? You're on Bummel.
Oh, you're on.
Hey, it's 1.5, Bubba.
Hey, Alan.
So your thing happened in what year?
82. My fight?
Yeah.
82.
All right, so I was born in 81. In 1990, I actually was at the ice skating rink and went in front of a person who was my old preschool teacher, who was my brother's current preschool teacher. She fell, broke her wrist, and ended up suing me, not my family. She sued a 9-year-old. And it took 4 years in court before it got thrown out.
And they sued a 9-year-old.
Yeah, well, the sheriff came to, my dad and I have the same name, and they went to serve me papers, and my mom was like, well, he's at work, and the sheriff was like, well, where does a 9-year-old work? This was in New Jersey at the time, and she was like, well, you're not serving my son papers, and then her husband actually also sued for lack of services, which is the court term for basically you couldn't get laid. I don't know what a wrist has to do with that. But she sued me. She sued the skate guards. She sued the township. She sued.
Well, that's just a
everybody.
litigious bitch, and that's another problem with our society. Back when I was growing up, you didn't have to worry about getting sued. Now that's all you got to worry about. I mean,
But that was 1990. But the thing was that you were going back to like your parents like telling you what to do. The reason that she was able to file the lawsuit was because we knew everybody in town. And when my mom picked me up, the skate guards told her everything that happened. My mom was like, well, we know her. You were in her class for 3 years. Your brother's in there. Let's drive down there. So when I went into the emergency room and apologized to her, like my mom told her, the court looked at that as an admission of guilt, even though I was 9.
So what was the final verdict?
She did get a settlement offer of $117,000. She originally sued for $175,000.
What, your mom and dad's homeowners association? Like
Yeah, where'd the money come from?
Well, no, yeah. So the homeowners covers me under my parents, but she also sued the township and the two skate guards, which were all covered.
That's
so between
ridiculous.
all of the insurance companies, she got offered that. She turned it down, and I went through like 13 different depositions, and then finally, the morning we were supposed to go to trial, the judge looked at her lawyers and was like, "You're not going to win. The kid's story hasn't changed," and they did settle for $18,000.
Well, it's just back in the day, you didn't even have to worry about getting sued. I mean, I got ran over by a car when I was in fourth grade. I got hit by a car.
Yeah, just bad luck. Walk it off, bitch.
And the woman who hit me, it was her fault. And
Did she stop?
And she stopped. The ambulance came and picked me up, and I was in the hospital for 3 months.
White person or another ethnicity?
Old white woman.
Okay,
had all kinds
That's
of
pretty good.
all kinds of money. Everybody knew. I mean, we knew her in town. It was a mistake. She hit me, and I was on my bike, and she was pulling into a parking lot, didn't see me, and fucking hit me. And you know what? Her insurance paid for my medical bills. And that's it. That's all. I mean, like, that's just, she told my mom and dad, "Hey, here's my insurance."
Hit your kid.
And
didn't see him. I'm blind.
Didn't see him. I'm blind. And my parents didn't say, "Okay, well, that's great.
Right.
You're going to pay for that, but we're also going to need another this." No, my parents like, "Okay,
Well,
that's all we can ask for."
What we would have gotten for this one about 2 years before that. So I was 9 when that happened. My parents were going out to dinner. They get a babysitter. They order a pizza from the place we always got pizza from, and I'm sitting there as a 6.5-year-old, and the pizza's crunching. And they're like, "What?" And they look at it, and there's glass in the pizza.
There's what?
So they
glass.
Glass. So they call the pizza place, and the pizza place, there was broken glass in the flour that they were making the dough with. And my parents never sued or did anything.
No,
Could you imagine what that would be worth right now?
The pizza place said, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Allen's mom and dad, let us send us down. We'll send you down a new pizza. We're so sorry about that."
Yeah,
and that's what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
So hey, man, Alan, 1.5. We love you, buddy. Hopefully, we're getting close.
I think so. I got to check with our other guy later.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, we'll take one more.
Yeah, one more.
Hello, who's this?
Hey guys, great show today.
Thanks.
Let me tell you something, guys.
Can you identify yourself?
Old.
Identify yourself.
My name's Mike. I live in Northport, Florida.
Perfect. That's all we
Ooh,
need to know.
Brian Laundry Town, right?
Well, not close to me, thank God.
But that's where he was from, right? Anyways,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Anna, don't.
Okay.
Radio 101. Don't distract them when they're on a roll.
No, sorry.
Especially when we're in a hurry.
Yeah.
I'm not really on a roll, but I'm 54 years old, and my mom and dad, my mom's 82, my dad's 84, and it's still yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
It probably gets you in a lot of trouble when a lot of people are, gender fluid and shit, non-binary.
I really kind of worry about. Well, no, I really don't.
What if you're not sure? Then what do? Do you just go, "Thank you"?
No, you know what I do? I just fucking think I just try to figure out what they are, and I
just hope for the best.
And if they're gonna
And
fucking
that's the
correct
same
me,
thing
I'm gonna be like,
guys.
"All right, sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I didn't know. I'm sorry."
But I was out in the garage working on one of my cars, and I come in the house. My wife's in the bedroom talking to her daughter on speakerphone, and every other word out of her daughter's mouth was "fuck." And finally,
like, fuck
I spoke
you,
up.
or you got to check this the fuck out.
No, her daughter had a bad day at work.
Oh, so she's letting it out. Go ahead.
Yeah, my day fucking sucked.
I see.
Fuck this. And I was like, "Look, little kid, shut your damn mouth. You don't speak to your mother like that." Well, shit. I called grief for my wife about it.
Yeah. Well,
Times have changed and people have changed, and after a good 2-hour lovemaking session that night, we went to bed, which is bullshit. We actually watched Price is Right and then fell asleep. So, and then the next morning, I looked at my wife. I said, "You know what?" I said, "Times haven't changed." I said, "People have changed." I said, "It's the way they're raising these little bastards."
I mean, if you're speaking like that around the kid, no wonder why the kid has a potty mouth.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
I'm
Good
talking
talking
about
to you. Appreciate your call.
That guy sounds like the font on his phone is really big.
I'm not trying to direct you and when to get rid of these phone calls, but
that was fucking over.
I have ADHD on some of
Me
this
too.
shit. I've been doing it so
Honestly,
fucking long.
I was losing details on the first phone call. I was like, fucking 10 words or less, buddy.
Hey,
Let's go.
Let's make a rule. Can it's your show, but can we can you
No more phone calls.
Well, we can do phone calls.
I don't want to do phone
calls. But they
calls.
got to be quick. Because
Yeah.
a lot of them will be like, hey, you guys are cool. That's great. But let's not get into fucking back in the day stories.
Well,
We've already
here's
done
the thing, Bubba, is that most people, and it could be men, but mostly women, but a lot of people don't know how to tell stories well. I
just got a report that Gallagher died.
Oh, Fruit in the Hallway guy?
Yeah. And we got him.
Oh.
I gotta get a hold of Lummy because we got him in a real fucked up situation. He was supposed to do the Calta show.
Yeah, smash your fruit in the hallway.
Right, and he got all sideways with him. So next time he came to town, he came to do our show.
Yeah.
And they pre-warned us, like, listen, he's really tough to work with.
He's ornery.
Yeah, he's just really you just don't know when what gallery you're going to get. He's like you, Bubba. You know, so
unpredictable.
Yeah, so he got here, and I rubbed his belly a little bit, and just told him how fucking cool. And next thing you know, and I don't know how we pulled this off.
Yeah.
But we got him in his underwear with B Fudd, mentally slow guy, in the Bubba Army shower, smashing watermelons with the slow guy. And I think we have it on video.
We got to get that.
Yeah, we got to get that up. Let me see. Let's see. It's your show, but is it okay if I call Lummy on speakerphone?
Yeah, call Lummy on speakerphone.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Okay.
I'm like I'm boss hogging this shit.
He's going to think he's in trouble. He's going to start freaking out.
Yeah. Here, I must. Thank you. I'm gonna fuck with him too. I'm gonna fuck with him at first. Thank you, Unsavory.
Hello?
Lummy, is everything okay?
Yeah, why?
Didn't you hear?
What?
Buddy, you didn't hear about it? Are you okay?
What?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, what happened?
Nothing. Everything's cool. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I just got home.
Hey, Gallagher died.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and don't we have a Gallagher high spot with him and B Fudd in the deal?
Yeah.
You're the show historian. Can you maybe get on that with Rhett?
Yeah.
Just because I just got word from Bubba Light that Gallagher died. Let's just Anna maybe ask Alexa or maybe
I'll do a quick Google.
I think it was like 2017, 2016.
All right, so you're the show historian, and we might need to whip something up because it's we could get some traction on that. I'm not trying to tell you how you do your job or nothing.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, I think there might be.
Yeah, he's dead.
there,
TMZ broke it.
It might be online. I gotta go.
Anna already verified. Anna just verified, so he's DED.
I'm trying to see how he died.
So
died of massive organ failure. I don't know which organ, but
yeah.
I'll find the videos when he's in there smashing the.
Remember, everybody told us he was so hard to work with, and then he was so cool to us. Next thing you know, he's in the shower. Was he in his underwear?
Yeah, he was in his underwear.
He was in his
underwear.
Yeah, he was in his underwear with a mentally, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so get on that, okay, buddy?
All right, I'm starting to look it up now.
Thank you, buddy.
No problem.
Bye. Yeah, we got him in his underwear.
and that wasn't too long ago. I think he had heart issues. I'm reading.
Really?
Yeah. So he's dead. He's dead.
What are you doing this weekend?
That's a good question.
Because
just like a lot of boring shit.
Are you going to be you're going to actually be at your place?
Yeah. Which is rare on the weekends.
Yeah.
This usually we kind of did a reverse Willie because he's away for the weekend blitzes, so I'm going to be at my house. But I spent like the entire week at his house.
Now, what about Now, will Reagan be there too?
I think she's doing some fucking race on Sunday morning.
Oh, I thought you said she's doing some fucking.
No, well maybe, who knows? But she's definitely running, so maybe you'll have another medal behind you at some point.
Oh, thank you.
So she loves those half marathons. I think running those kind of distances are not good for you. And I'm a big fan of exercise, but I don't know. I don't think running a marathon or even like a half marathon that's probably just not good for.
To me,
your
it
knees,
seems like it seems like you're kind of more of a I like to run where I want to run kind of girl, and I'm not a course runner.
I rarely do races. I do pretty well in them when I do them.
Right.
I usually hate them, and it takes me about 4 or 5 years to forget about how much I hated the last race, and then someone will bring it up, and I'll be like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. And then I do it, and I'm like, this is why I hate doing it. Because I don't want to run with, like, last time, it was like 2,000, 3,000 people you're running with, and it's a fucking nightmare.
It's a herd.
Yeah, and then you're trying to, like, dodge around all the fat, slow people that stand right in the fucking front, and then you hear heavy breathing, people trying to race you, people getting in your way. I like running just by myself.
You like
alone.
running around the block against Dan.
Yeah, just one time around the block against Dan. And it wasn't even with Dan because I was so far ahead of him. I was just kind of running by myself.
You smoked his ass.
Yeah.
I could tell by the time you got down to the stop sign, if outside the studio, make a left, that very first stop sign, I could tell because I was on a moped with Seth, if you remember.
I do remember.
And
he was run bitch.
I can remember Dan took off, bam.
Yeah.
And then I could just tell that you just had like a programmed pace.
Yeah.
And you got to that stop sign and Dan was gone. And it didn't freak you out.
No.
You're like, and you didn't like start trying to go faster to chase him. You just stayed your pace. And I turned to Seth and I said, she's going to fucking smoke him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to blow his shit out about this next corner.
Right.
And then that's exactly what happened. I could tell by that stop sign when you didn't change your pace.
Yeah.
And that you just kind of had a predetermined pace. And I think you trained for it a little bit.
Oh, I mean, but I run all the time, or, did before I fucked up my knee. But the thing is with anything that's endurance, anything that's not a sprint, you have to train. Because even if someone is an amazing mile runner, if they stop running or they eat like shit or they don't train or something, they're not going to do well. So the only way to kind of like get your conditioning up is to practice it, right? Now, if it's sprinting, that I feel like is more of like a genetic component. So,
right.
Even if he's a bit older than me, if he's a man, he's probably going to out sprint me in like a 50-yard dash or something like that.
Sprinting is far more genetic.
Right.
Absolutely.
But
distance is not.
Yeah, I mean, again,
to an extent.
Yeah, genetics play a part, but you have to train.
You get a guy from Kenya, he might just genetically be better than you.
Absolutely, genetics play a part in everything, but in order to do anything that's endurance, you have to be training all the time.
What's the farthest you've ever ran?
In one go, maybe
Yeah.
like 12 miles.
That's pretty far.
Not very. I mean, I'm not like an ultra distance runner or even a marathon runner. I don't think that's good for you. And I've actually been doing a lot of research on excessive endurance racing of any kind, whether it's biking, like long distance swimming or running or anything like that. And, it seems counterintuitive, but the past 40, if you are doing like crazy endurance, which I'm not, like people who bike ride 100 miles a day or run 18 miles a day, that sort of thing, that actually is not good for your heart. And there's actually a lot of endurance racers, whether they be bikers or runners, they start dropping dead in their 50s because I think the heart enlarges, and because you're not young anymore, it really can't recover when you have all those little like micro tears just from overuse.
I wonder what
and
my
stress
heart looks like.
All these guys are dropping dead. What your heart is like? You know what we should go get? We should go get
Was it called an echogram?
No, echocardiogram. No, I was thinking we should go check out our VO2 max.
What's that?
It's basically how well your body can take in oxygen and utilize oxygen to the muscles. So people who are really, really out of shape are going to have a pretty low VO2 max.
But hold on. I have excessive red blood cells which carry oxygen. So, I wonder.
I don't know how that would affect the VO2 max. So you'd have to ask Dan.
What's a VO2 max test? What do you do?
It's just like a stress test.
Oh, does that
so
mean
they put you like on a treadmill and they're like, go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster.
Out.
So you might be I think, and they measure it in.
I ain't get no fucking treadmill.
Milliliters of oxygen per minute per kilogram of weight.
You just want to win something.
I do.
How about I just give you a medal and said and it says
I win the VO2 max award?
No. It just says I won.
Yeah.
And it could be for anything.
I could just put it on for anything, any competition that
I won.
I win.
If it was who walked out the door the fastest,
I win.
I win. If it's who has the prettiest shit,
I win.
I win. If it's who's got the best shoulders,
I win.
I win. If
biggest dick, I win. I win.
Well, you're attached. Now, who do you think?
Yeah.
We got into a little bit of a
dick caper.
of a cock off today, and
Tarek versus Floyd?
Yeah, and
I've never seen Tarek's pee. But I don't know. I mean, you would probably know better than anybody because you see both of them the most.
I would hate to say
You think it's what?
I think it's Tarek.
Just because he has like some weird like Egyptian large penis deal.
He has rubbed against me before and like just relaxed. It feels big.
Yeah.
And
you've never caught a glimpse like
no, never.
Okay. You never like pee outside with him or something?
No.
You guys are peeing on the Teslas?
No.
Okay.
No. Boy, Blitz's balls were looking huge today. He was on the floor looking at some bullshit.
Oh, I know. He wears those pants and they ride the fuck up.
And we were in engineering there, and he was on the floor.
Yeah.
Working on some fucking cable coming out of the back of a computer. So
yeah. Some technical engineering shit.
Bullshit. And I'm looking at it. And it's one of the rare times that we actually have the lights on in there,
right?
Because we
like the darkness around here.
Oh God, we are the darkest people.
Look at us right now.
Not only how we think, but just our environment is so dark.
The first time I walked in here, it was.
Is it scary?
Yeah, it's frightening because you can't see anyone. Everything you're watching is on a delay, so I can't even get any sort of cues from you because I'm watching what you did 10 seconds ago.
Right, right now, people don't even understand. Like, I physically cannot see you.
No.
And you physically cannot see me. You literally could be in Alaska for all I know.
Right. And anything that you're doing on the screen I'm watching, you did 10 seconds ago.
Right, exactly.
So it's not even in real time.
No. But I have always had that configuration in my studios, and I always felt as if it made you be more animated.
I 100% agree.
And nobody ever understood it. And then once you get in the world, even Seth came to me a few times and be like, man, your studio has an unbelievable vibe that makes you established audible a chemistry with your co-hosts that you usually don't have in a regular, being able to see, most radio hosts either stand up or are literally like right beside each other.
Yeah.
And can see each other.
And a lot of that animation is lost in the studio when you can see each other. So the people in the studio maybe are having a more animated experience if they can see each other.
Right.
But for the listener, you really kind of have to go a little bit over the top so you can kind of match that level of animation, and it makes for a better radio listening experience.
It's kind of the Wizard of Oz effect.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially
at first I hated it, but now I fucking love it.
Like right now I'm looking right at all of your, like, and I can understand how you can see me, but well, you're shaking your hands now. But if you were just in regular broadcasting position, I just look there and all I see are screens, and I know your little peanut head's back there.
Yeah.
But I can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first time Howard came in, he was like, "Oh my, this is like Wayne's World." He goes, "I have never seen anything like this." And I truly think that we have probably the most unique, coolest radio studio in the world.
I agree. I mean, obviously there's still a shower now it's storage, but
yeah, I mean,
you had this. I mean, back in the heyday, you had the stripper pole and the shower. You have a full bar. Like, it's crazy. It's like it's a circus freak house. But I freaking love it. Nothing about it is corporate, which obviously no one here fits into the corporate world, so it works perfectly. But I love it. Like I said before, I at first I hated it just because I wasn't used to it. I didn't know how to interact. But kind of like you were saying about speaking in public and how you don't really like it, people looking at you. This kind of adds like another element of privacy where people are listening, like that as a fact, but you don't feel it. So you're not in front of the crowd, and that extends to not being in front of a room of people, even if they're your coworkers.
And that accelerates the fact that you don't like to talk in front of people when you talk the way we do, or the way I do in my own little cocoon back there.
Right.
So I'm literally in my own little cocoon, and when I get outside of my cocoon, I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, but even when what is so funny is that even when you like stand up when you get really mad or something funny happened or you're yelling at Lummy or me,
right?
Like it makes us that much more impactful. I know when we can see your face and like Lummy looks away because he doesn't want to make eye contact. Like Lummy. It's so funny.
We have such a great, lineup. We really do. And you know what is so frustrating as you learn more about the radio business is that we are so fucking blackballed. Like iHeart and Cox and Beasley, none of them are ever going to put us in any major market. And our show is so good and has such a great chemistry of different personalities and it's just offensive enough to be edgy, but it's not we're
not getting canceled for saying.
It's not, we are so, we walk that fine edge.
Yeah.
But we would work in, oh my God, if they put us in LA or they put us in New York or they put us in Chicago. Did you know California is our second state when it comes to podcasting?
Really?
California.
They're so thirsty for anything that's not PC.
Los Angeles is our number 2 market behind Tampa. It's Tampa, Los Angeles, Orlando.
Oh, whoa.
And so you are familiar with radio and you're familiar with the product that we put out and we would kill it. And it's just so frustrating to know how good this show sounds and how different it is and how diverse it is, but yet how blackballed it is. And you know what? Radio blackballs us and they don't even know why they're supposed to be blackballing us. Like, it's just what you're just not supposed to fucking think that Bubba the Love Sponge could be an alternative or an option for you.
But I honestly think the digital space is better for us anyways, just because of the freedom and it's not But
I still have
unfinished business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I understand that, and I know that you know this, but radio isn't what it was, even 5 years ago, but like 20 years ago, it was just a completely different ball game. There's so many things now you can't say. You're constantly worried about offending this group and that group, and is this market too liberal for this, and da-da-da-da. So I just think that if people want this kind of content and they go out and search for it, that's where we will succeed and thrive the most.
It's kind of Netflix or streaming subscription-based things versus the 4 big networks. And the fact that, like, the 4 big networks, Fox, ABC, CBS, they have all now had to subsidize streaming to be able to make it. Meanwhile, and that's free for the most part, and people, but Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all of that world, you have to pay, much like us. We're kind of more of a pay deal.
I think we exist best behind like a paywall. I think that's good for protection.
We're kind of like the Netflix of radio.
Can I ask you something? And I probably already asked Blitz this, but I forgot the answer. Why don't we do Patreon?
Twitch doesn't like it.
That's what it was. I was like, there was a reason.
And we could.
Yeah.
But I feel now, realistic, I feel that we really kind of have it dialed in on what we're juggling with regards to our growth on YouTube, our growth on Facebook. Facebook has really turned into a pretty damn good monetization.
Yeah, there were a few videos you said that got over 200,000 views.
Yeah. And so, and in our podcasting world, we're getting ready for our 4 millionth download.
Woo!
So like Patreon, to me, it seems like we would just be another. Right now, we can't keep up with getting exclusive material to we don't give really podcasting near the amount of exclusive stuff as we should. There's only a certain amount of us. And there's only a certain amount of time that we can do shows.
Sure.
We have ancillary shows like Flappin' when we can and things like that. But if we were to add Patreon to that, that's just another mouth we have to feed content-wise. And then
you have different tiers, so you have to do like 2 extra for the top tier and 1 extra for the bottom tier. Yeah,
So I think the way we got it now, where we do, Twitch is kind of our visual guardrail, so to speak.
And it's been good to us, so you don't want to,
right. And then
hit the hand that feeds you.
I've had a lot of conversations with Blitz where I want, and I hope nobody from Florida Man Radio or Charleston, but I've had often conversations like, Blitz, why the fuck are we even doing regular radio? Let's just get off regular radio and do. But I think that regular radio, terrestrial radio, is kind of the guardrail and template that I
It's
need.
a good template
that I need,
and that you're used to, and that you've done
and
well.
if I can stay within the inbounds and the rules of terrestrial radio, then chances are I'll never have a problem anywhere else. There are,
and it's also good for attracting new listeners, like, people who listen in Charleston or Phoenix or whatever, then they start following us on Twitch. Then they start looking at our YouTube. So we do get new ears and eyes on us that way.
But the other argument to that is, out of the 7 markets we're heard in, if they were no longer able to get us,
but they still follow us.
Statistics show about 35% would.
Okay, that's pretty high.
That's very high. And I've had, various markets where I've been canceled, and and statistically about anywhere between 25 and 40% find us by other means. So realistically, we would probably, our YouTube numbers would, we would explode digitally, but I still like that terrestrial, I still like having 7 affiliates.
Well, that's also, the person that brought you to the dance, and you kind of have an emotional attachment to it, and I completely understand that. And to be honest, I like the format that we have now with the 4 hours, the breaks, the hot mic. Like, it's a whole system. It helps the show go by better. We can take breaks. The listener can kind of take a break. So, I kind of like it.
I think we have, and you've seen, since you've been here for a few years, us organically, we kind of have shifted and how we do things. And the one constant has been terrestrial radio, but where we put things, where we do the after shows, the podcasting,
different segments,
right? The food, and I got to tell you, the biggest growth and where we need to is going to be YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is
going. If we can continue to explode on there, and the next plateau will be 100.
Yeah,
and then we just continue to explode on that. I was talking to Blitz today about making the stage go ahead after Barb and start concentrating on having a bona fide podcasting area up there to take the radio aspect of what we do out of it and really truly have a podcasting feel. Because
so you mean do the show up there?
Yes.
So abandon where we are here?
No.
Oh.
When we do regular radio.
Oh, we do it here, and then the after show's up there.
Well, some after shows will be down here.
Okay.
But like Flapping Gaps could be there.
I see.
Or, when you want to kind of just make it a podcasting only deal, we have another backdrop instead of a radio.
Another set.
Another set, so to speak. Like it's another set. And if visual isn't, but we would make that a visual thing. But
sure.
But just
and you don't have to make it fancy, but if you make it clean and
all I wanted
good
to
cameras,
do,
you're good to go.
If you can look at it now, all I wanted to do, if you look at it now, was to take that, see where the attention sign is.
Yeah.
That goes away.
Yeah. And
then take 2 more shelves and continue the Hall of Fame.
So that would be the backdrop, would be the bus.
And then you would sit at that desk, 2 people with 2 microphones, and that would be the backdrop.
Yeah.
Right there with 2 microphones.
Yep.
That's it. Real clean, real, and if you wanted to get maybe more casual, maybe put a couch or 2 recliners or, a sofa or, something like that. That table might not be what really we want. We might want it.
I think it's probably best if you have the people like angled towards each other.
Yeah.
Instead of just like both sitting at a table like news anchors.
Yeah. So maybe we will do like what Concrete does and just do a skinny table with them facing each other, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to do. And if like, for instance, your show, if you would want to do it up there because you don't use a lot of the radio sound effects and bumps ins and bumps out and shit like that, then you're like, you know what? I'd rather do rails from up there.
Yeah.
So I think that would be for the infrastructure that, 1, we already have the stage built. 2, we have the backdrop built. 3, we're literally 2 microphones and maybe a table away from being able to make that happen.
Okay.
And of course, Blitz would have to hook up a
Wire the whole thing.
Well, yeah, it's
Give up
already
several
pretty,
weekends.
Yeah, not
I'm just
really.
kidding. Yeah.
I think he could really get it done.
Yeah.
It's probably more of building a
set than anything.
a dedicated computer to run that, and maybe one little control board. But I want to start doing that, but
That'd be super cool.
But the one thing is nobody else has this. I guess Calta built his own home studio, I guess. And boy, is that a ripoff or what? You know what the most fucked up thing is, Anna?
What?
One of the reasons they fired me over there was because I had my own studios and they felt this disconnect.
Oh, like lack of synergy deal.
Like he's on his own island. He's big time. He's got 9 affiliates and he's not in the building. The not in the building thing got used against me so badly over there. Well, now look at him. Now their morning show, the guy that fucking replaced me, is now
used COVID in his favor.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what it was initially, and then they never went back.
Well, I heard.
What'd you hear?
That it was initially COVID.
Okay.
And then it came to the amount of money they were paying him. In contract negotiations, it was so bad.
It was the bottom of the bracket, or it
was so bad that he said, "I'm not driving in to fucking there one concession you're gonna make is I'm gonna do my show from my house since you're not paying me shit." So that's what I heard, which I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I mean, we've reverse engineered this, and we are. I mean,
way ahead of the game.
As much as everybody in Tampa wants to think that we're the ones that are on an AM station and that we're on a video game, they would fucking die to have what we have. Would they not?
Absolutely.
Not a one of them.
I mean, that's usually what happens when people are threatened is they disqualify you,
Right.
They go, that's lame. Or, if a guy sees another guy and he's like really good looking and he has a lot of money and everything. I heard Rolo talking about this. He was like, oh, some guy will be like, oh, that guy's gay. Right. Exactly. He's gay. Yeah. So, and that's a tactic they use to disqualify someone from something when they feel threatened by them. Right. So when people see what we're doing on Twitch, they go, oh, they're bots. It's the Diacos, or it's a video game streaming service. That's so lame. So, but much like you said, they would love to have this sort of
You tell me right now, all the major players in Tampa radio, all the major ones, if they had this studio, was able to make enough money digitally.
They weren't micromanaged by
they didn't have to
the
go
corporations,
right,
and their bosses, their managers.
Literally, we can do. I mean, this is a little extreme, but if we wanted to, Anna, what's your drink of choice? Truly?
Yeah.
Okay. And you weren't driving, let's take the driving.
Take the driving out of it.
Taking the driving out of it.
Okay.
But if you wanted to come in here at 6:05, pop a Truly, and smoke a joint,
be my guest. I think you'd prefer it.
I would.
I
would. I mean, like literally, but like, listen, if you want to go out and get high. Because and let's say you had your medical marijuana license, okay, and
everything's legit,
and you're not driving home. Now, where else could you do that?
Nowhere. I mean, even you have said, you better take this, otherwise you're not my friend.
Yeah,
you better do this, otherwise you're not my friend. Yeah, it's awesome working here. And people ask me about it all the time. They're like, "What is it like?" I'm like, "If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Like, it's so insane." But it's so fun. And I mean, I'm not built for corporate life. You sure as shit are not.
But I am. Meaning, like, as I can do corporate
as
long as I can do it from here.
Yes, but also have always been on the edge of corporate. Like, corporations wanted you because you were edgy, not because you were corporate button-up suit and tie guy.
Right. But see, I would roll into corporation and I would do it my way, and I would just they would make an exception for me. There would be like, when I was at the Power Pig, corporate said you couldn't have guests. Well, Bubba can though.
Right.
Bubba can have strippers in here because he's
got
a 47
But when I mean corporate,
share.
I'm making like a generalization about at least what corporate radio is now. Dude, I was listening to radio for about 5 minutes yesterday on the morning show, and they're talking about how Oreos taste different. I mean, that's what they've been reduced to. They can't really talk about anything that matters. They have to talk about shit that completely does not matter.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't hear him say, "You know what, man? Let's really break down this abortion deal here." Like,
no way.
I mean, if a woman wants to suck it out, she should be able to suck it right on out. And if a woman wants to say Jesus says that she can't suck it out, well, then she has the right to say. But they couldn't say that.
No. So what's
one, two,
happened?
three, let's play Sporkle.
Right, exactly. So everything's just been so watered down because people are so afraid to lose their jobs, but nobody wants to listen to that shit anymore.
So when I was...
That's why people are going to listen to, they want to listen to Joe Rogan, or they want to listen to Andrew Schultz, or people that they still think have some sort of talking about
Swagger.
real shits, swagger, and also just being genuine and sincere and not towing the corporate line.
Right, and really in today's world, in the world we live in, the only line we have to toe is the cancel line. That's it. That's the only line we got to worry about. Which is scary because you don't know where that's going to hit you from next. Yeah, and it's just it's just. I don't know. It's just, you're right, because these trolls can highly organize and
because everything's racist, everything's transphobic, everything is sexist. So it's hard to, which is why that I feel like, I am somewhat an asset to the team in that, I'm kind of a buffer because I can say things about
I told
Jews
you
you're
my insurance
right,
policy.
or females or whatever, or immigrants, and then I can also say in the next breath, I'm an immigrant, I'm a female, I'm a Jewish person, and so I feel like I definitely have a lot more leverage, and it's not fair. I shouldn't have that advantage, but I do, and I think it's probably refreshing for people to hear someone talk about something like that and not be totally freaked out and be like, oh, we need to cancel Kanye or cancel this. It's like, dude, let the guy say what he wants. You don't have to agree with him. You don't have to buy his product, but enough is enough.
I mean, it's also,
let people live.
It's also evident just on how they let you go.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you were getting you were a little irresponsible on what you said.
I was. I was warned.
But it wasn't a deal breaker.
For them it was, clearly.
Clearly it shouldn't be.
I'm glad it was, though.
But no, I'm glad it was too. But it was it's like if some other more established person in that building had said that, they would have been. First of all, there's people in that building that get into full blown fucking 1,000%. Fucking meltdowns on Twitter with people and drop the N-word and all this kind of stuff, and that ain't a fucking problem,
right?
But if you're lowly, 10 o'clock at night girl, part-time Willie, well then you're a piece of shit, and we're just gonna try to we're gonna find a reason to get rid of you,
which I don't even blame them for. I understand that I was dispensable and I wasn't worth the risk of having. I was too much of a liability for a slot that really didn't matter in terms of ratings. So I get that. I accept that. It is what it is. I'm not trying to fight that.
It was actually, though, the best thing that ever happened because I don't think, that show that you're on now is preempted by the lightning during
I know.
During
that's such
season.
A sore spot for those guys, too. I feel so bad.
But the other thing is, in all actuality, they don't really promote from within. There's not any really sexy slots available that's going to pay you anything that you could make a living at.
No, zero, none. Because no one's budging,
Right. So
Calvin's not leaving, Roger and JP aren't leaving, and Drew's still around, so it's locked up.
Where you were is the best it was going to get, and that show in itself really can't be the show that it could potentially be under the rules that they have to work under.
Right.
So you couldn't really be I feel you couldn't be the Anna that you are the Anna that you are for me. I don't think you could be that Anna.
No way. No way.
I don't think so.
No.
At all.
And I mean, when you have your boss calling you up and telling you this is the station's stance on this particular issue, this whole real raw radio shit is exactly that. It's just a bunch of fucking bullshit. Why would your boss call you and say, we're going to take this stance on the fucking riots, lay low on the riots, don't tell them that they're wrong, and, be very understanding of the fact that people are taking to the streets and burning shit down. I'm like, what? That's ridiculous.
I don't know that, I might have, and if I have, then tell me. But I don't know that I've ever told you a position to take. Maybe I have.
You've told me words not to say, which fair enough, because we're not trying to get fucking canceled.
Right.
But I don't think there's ever been a stance, because even when we talk about things that are kind of a taboo, we just go bear, 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 or we go R or Renaissance, or
right.
There's a way we can kind of dance around it with relaying and describing what we're talking about and expressing ourselves without actually saying the things that could get us in trouble.
Right. But I don't think I've ever said to you, Anna, we're going to talk about this coming up next, and I need you to spin it this way, this way, this way, and
never.
I need you not to spin it this way, and I don't give a fuck about how you feel about it. This is what I need you to say.
Right. No,
I don't
you've
think
never
I've
done
ever
that.
had that.
No.
And I don't think that I've ever fucking told you what to say on your Twitter. I don't think I've told you what to post on Instagram just because it's
to promote
it's
us.
So it's show shit. You know, hey, Anna, can you throw this up? But
right.
So I don't know. I am so excited about where this latest kind of resurgence in YouTube. We hitting 50,000,
50.1 now,
and Rhett and Blitz and Lummy
the shorts
got this little niche going. They really got they just like right now. I guarantee you those boys are working on a Gallagher deal right now. I promise you. And we just got it all figured out. The after shows go here. The podcasts go here. We're on this many radio stations. We do this, and this. We're putting it at our podcast studio. I just really got a good feeling. And don't forget, we got that other big thing that I'm working on that I really can't be talking about. That could be, now listen, it could very well be a nothing burger. But if it's not a nothing burger and it goes pretty well, I think that throws fuel on the whole brand. I think that throws fuel on the fire for the whole brand across all platforms.
I agree.
And
I mean, I've seen many things of that nature that you're talking about, that there's been like a resurgence. Like we were talking about the Killer Sally deal, for example.
Right.
A story that it was in the past that people maybe remember, maybe they don't. And suddenly you're talking about it again.
Right.
You know, or the Manti Te'o thing. There was kind of like a revival of that. Now people are interested in an old story. They want to hear about it because maybe it was a different side that they didn't know before, and the details and all that sort of stuff. So I think that,
and if those people
would really help us,
like for instance, Tiger King.
Yes.
Let me just give you this. If Joe, what was his name? Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
If he wasn't incarcerated and he was still a free man to be able to benefit from these 35 million extra eyeballs that now know who he is. And he had his roadside tiger pit or whatever the fuck, or he was even just doing Joe Exotic fucking hats. He would have had a windfall
absolutely
of an opportunity to have people cume whatever unfortunately he's incarcerated. So but like Carol Baskin, even though she was the villain in Tiger King,
she's on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they may have closed
Big Cat Rescue.
I think because I think that she doesn't need the donations. I think she does so well on Facebook and YouTube. This just
and Cameo.
Although this made her a villain, it just made her. It also exposed her to 40 million people. So out of that 40 million, let's say 20 million think you're a fucking bitch. Well, there's 10 to 12 million that like you. 10 to 12 million that didn't know about you before. I think that we potentially, if I can get my story out, I even foresee that terrestrial radio, we could be the cool guy in the room again. And, terrestrial radio is, no pun intended, monkey see, monkey do. So as soon as, let's say, iHeart says, you know what, hey, we're not going to really be mad at Bubba anymore. And he really, man, we kind of had it all wrong. And I've listened to his show. We had a couple people listen to his show, and his show's really not what people think. Like, it's not that old, Manson-based parody, fucking Casey Anthony, throw the kid in the trunk, all that kind of bullshit. It's really diversified. It's different. It's got a woman on there. It's got a doctor on there. It's got Bubba. It's got fucking, it's a whole different show. It's not problematic. It's edgy, but not problematic. You know what? We're going to put that show in Milwaukee, or we're going to put that show in Dallas. The minute that happens, it'll be an avalanche of everybody doing it.
Yeah, it's a lot like mate copying. You see someone with a guy and you go, oh, that guy's attractive. So that girl likes him. Maybe I should like him too.
Boy, that's hot if you can ever get into that situation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Do girls really act that way?
Yeah, mate copying is certainly a thing. Not with men.
No,
men don't care.
Men.
It's actually the opposite.
Right.
If you have like a high number, unless they're just trying to fuck you. But if a girl has like a high body count, guys aren't really into that for wifing that up. But the other way around is certainly true where, married men are definitely a target because mate copping is a thing. They've already kind of been pre-selected for by another woman. So if you go, well, this guy he's a husband, he's a father, this woman found something good about him. So he's probably a quality mate. I'm going to try to get him for myself.
And bitches are scandalous.
Oh, absolutely. They just don't care. But people don't care. It's not just a female. It's just a people thing.
That's true. Well, I think
should we wrap it up? It's been almost 2 hours.
And I really had a great time.
This was great.
Blitz is going to be mad because I might be his new replacement.
Oh, for Bummel? It's not going to be that we've lost the L now. Just you and I.
No, it's you guys.
Okay.
It's you guys. But occasionally we should do a one-off.
Okay.
Or
should we just do our own thing? It doesn't have to be every week or anything, but once a month, just you and I.
Yeah. I think in lieu of, not in lieu of, but in addition to.
Right.
I would just have to figure out, it would probably have to be like on a Wednesday. No, that's like on a Tuesday.
Okay.
It'd have to be on a Tuesday. A Monday. No, Mondays. See?
I know, because you're already so booked up.
No, but it's like, but that's good in the fact that, like, isn't that, is tired or as much as it means I have to do
another show.
But it's also great in the fact that we have so many little franchises that we've established.
Different
that it's great that
dyads or trios.
It's actually good. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
What if we were like, well, every fucking day is wide open because we ain't got shit going on.
Yeah, we have a lot. And I know you have like the right-left deal. You have the Dan deal. You have...
I need to do the Dan deal more often.
So,
I think that's a great dynamic.
I'm happy to, on the days you don't do the...
Well, here's the thing.
Woke my bitch.
You love radio.
I do.
You really love this. And so, like, honest to God, I know, like, I've talked to Blitz about it. I'd be like, hey, he's like, you don't understand. That bitch loves to be behind a mic.
Yeah, I really do.
Loves it. So, like, like when you'd have to come in with Tara, like at 4:00 or something like that, and I feel bad, but like, Blitz would be like, man, bitch.
No, I really do love it.
I bet you drive from here to Tallahassee to be on the air.
Yeah, I do. And honestly, I feel so bad because your sister's so fucking busy and like, and not that, we're paying her or anything. She likes doing it too, but her schedule's so hectic that it's like, I feel bad, reminding her, asking her more than once.
And the thing about it is you really can't substitute another girl in there that has the same dynamic and swagger that she does.
You can't.
I know she's my sister
Tara.
and all, but it's like
she
saying you're going to bring another guy in to be me.
Yeah, and she's had enough radio experience where she doesn't like she doesn't get all like frigid behind the mic because I've seen that happen where people, I'm like, oh, this girl's cool, and you bring them in and then they just like get all like tense and tight and they don't talk and they don't feel natural. So sometimes when you put a mic in someone's face, they totally freeze up and they're a completely different person.
Not you, man. You open wide up. You're a mic slut. That's what you are, a mic slut.
Yep.
You know what Blitz should have done is just put a mic in front of you.
And then
wide up.
100%.
2 weeks into the job, you would have been just like fucking the shit out of him if he would have disguised his cock as a mic.
Yeah, he should have done that.
He should have wrote RE.
Big black and chrome.
RE. I do like my new mic though. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I see it all the time.
And don't you think it sounds so much better?
It sounds so much better, and it looks so clean. It looks sharp.
That other one was just done.
Yeah, it's right here.
Done.
I mean, look at this. This is disgusting.
I know.
Is this the gaffer tape that you love so much?
Yeah. Don't even.
I don't even know what it is.
Listen,
are you embarrassed?
You being a germaphobe, I don't know if I'd even be handling that.
Yeah,
thing.
you're right. I shouldn't touch that.
I mean, my spit and fucking
Yeah, it's all rusted and nasty.
But look at the black one though. Look how beautiful it is. Oh, is that our wrap up, Willie?
Yeah. Oh, right here. Ooh.
No, look at that.
That's nice. And it's so soft and
it's satiny.
Yeah, I love matte colors. I know that was so 2010, but when I see a matte black car, I love it so much.
Well, listen, thanks.
Thank you.
And check in.
You were a great co-host today, Bubba.
I hope I didn't. See, naturally, people give me a hard time because naturally, when I'm a co-host, I kind of take over because it's just kind of like the way, like
it's your nature.
So I hope I didn't take over.
No, not
too
at
much.
all.
I mean, I think I was conversational.
We were dancing.
Yeah, thank you.
We were dancing well.
You know what I am looking forward to?
What?
I'm looking forward to the ride over to Orlando with all of us next week.
Woo! It's going to be so fun.
I really do.
Poor Red's going to be trailing us.
I know.
In his socks and slides, but he'll be $50 richer.
But deep down, you really, comfortability-wise,
Yeah, as far as space, it would definitely be more comfortable. But I feel bad for
You
the
being
guy.
back here with the merch crick, you got all the room in the world.
Yeah.
I can throw you a truly back there. But if you had the redheaded ginger between you two,
it'd be a little cramped. It would.
Thank you, babe.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You as well.
Thank
See
you,
ya.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.